Hi guys, welcome back to our channel Coderslobby. Let's discuss exception handling in this video. First we will see what is exception handling. After we will see types of exception handling in UiPath and how we can use exception handling in UiPath. So all these topics we are going to cover in this video. Let's do it one by one. Let's first understand what is exception. An exception is an event which occurs during the execution of a program that disrupts the normal flow of the program's instruction. For example, I am trying to perform certain operation in an application which is not applicable in the application. In that case, I will face an error. What is exception handler? Exception handler is a block of code that is executed if an exception occurs during the execution of some other block of code. That means exception handler is used to handle exception and also it provides error message when error comes into a program. Let's understand exception and exception handling by one example. For example, I am trying to log in into my Google account where I am passing wrong credentials. What will happen after that? I will face an error. Program will throw an error with a certain message. For example, username and password are wrong. So in this case, I am trying to perform illegal operation on a Google account. I am trying to pass in wrong credential which is not applicable. So in that case, I will face an error. So behind an application, program has been written in which exception handling is used. Where exception handling throwing an error message when I am trying to pass in a wrong credential to log in into my Google account. Let us understand by one more example. Here I have one Excel file which is I am going to delete. But first let me open this file. Now if I try to delete this Excel file, then see what will happen. It's showing me an error message saying the action cannot be completed because the file is open in Microsoft Excel. So this file is already open in Microsoft Excel. That's the reason I'm not able to delete this Excel file. So in Microsoft Excel application program, exception handling throwing me an error saying that I can't perform this operation because the file is open in the background. Let's understand exception handling in UiPath. There are two types of exception handling in UiPath. First is system exception and second is business exception. System exception can occur due to the unavailability of the item which you declared in your process, and it can occur at any point of time. For example, a project where a URL need to open in browser and that URL is not responding. In such cases, you will encounter an exception which will cover under system exception. What is business exception? A business exception is a user-defined exception when we apply a business rule to our project and if the condition is not satisfied in such situation. For example, a project which read column data from Excel sheet provided by the business and that column is missing in the provided file. In that case, we will use business exception to send an email to business user and notify that the required column is not available in the Excel file. What are commonly used exception activities in UiPath? There are few activities available which we can use for handling exceptions. In this video, we are going to cover throw and try catch activities. Throw activity. To generate a user-defined exception, we can use throw activity. By using throw activity, you can apply all the business scenarios validation in your code. I will take same Excel example for throw activity. For example, we are reading an Excel file where the required column is missing. So in that case, we can use throw activity to throw an business exception. What is try catch? Try catch is the main backbone of the code. Wherever it feels like there is possibility of error, try catch is the activity which can help you to capture your error and handle it nicely so that your process will not interrupt and other transaction will complete. There are three blocks has been created in try catch. First block is try block. It holds the activity that could throw an exception. Second is catch block. This block specifies the exception type and optionally holds an activity that informs the user about the found exception. Third and last block is final block. This block holds an activity that should be executed only if no error occurred or if the error was already caught. To understand UiPath exception handling in a better way, I have created a small process. You can see I have created exception handling workflow file. In this workflow file, I am using certain UiPath activities to complete the process. But first, let me tell you the process. In this process, I am using student record Excel file. Here we have few students record. We can see student ID, name and result. In this process, we have to check that the student result is declared or not. First two students record is declared. You can see first student John result is pass. Second student Maria result is fail. But third student Robin result is not declared. So in that case, we have to send an business exception. Now let's back to UiPath Studio. First, I am using read range activity to read an student record.xlx file, and the result will store into a variable name dt student record. After this, I am using for each row activity to get each and every row one by one. In for each row activity, I am using try catch activity which is used to handle exception. In try block, I am using if condition where I am passing one condition to check that the result is declared or not, or the result column is empty or not. If the result is not declared, then I am throwing a business exception using throw activity, which is another activity used to throw an error. And here I am using this activity to throw an business exception. In properties panel, we can see a business rule exception which I have written result not declared. But in case if the result column not empty or the result is declared, then I am writing the result in a message box. In catch block, I have created two catch block. One is system.exception catch block. Second, business rule exception catch block. If any system exception comes in try block, then system.exception catch block will execute. But if any business exception comes in try block, then business rule exception catch block will execute. In system exception catch block, I am using message box where I am writing system exception message. In business rule exception catch block, I am also using message box where I am writing business rule exception message. In final block, I am not using any activity because it is optional. But the first two blocks try and catch we have to initialize if we are using try catch activity. Now I am going to run this process in a debug mode so that we can see the result step by step. I am going to put breakpoint on for each row activity. Now let me run this process. Now our try block is executed. So if condition is false because the result is exists in the Excel file, you can see result is pass. Let me continue the process. Now second row will execute. In second row, result is also declared. You can see result is fail. Let me continue the process for a third row. In third row, result is not declared, or we can say there is no value in the result column for a third row, so that throw activity will execute. And here I am throwing an business exception. Let me continue the process. Now we can see business rule exception block is executed. Let me continue the process. We can see the message business rule exception result not declared. Now our process is completed. So in the first run, we have seen the business rule exception. Now let's see system exception. So for that, I am using the same process, but here in try block, where I am using if condition, here I am going to write a wrong column name. You can see here I am passing wrong column name which is not available in an Excel file. So in that case, program will try to find this column name in an Excel file, but it will not found in an Excel. So in that case, the robot will throw an exception which is called system exception. Let me run this process again. Let me continue the process for a first row. We can see here exception catch block is executed here because it will not found the mentioned column name in an Excel file. Let me continue the process. Here we can see system exception column result does not belong to table data table. Let me continue the process. I hope you have understood the concept of exception handling, but if you have any query regarding this particular topic, then you can write your query in a comment box. Thank you very much guys for watching this video. Please like and keep share it with your friends and on your social media platform like WhatsApp and Facebook. And also subscribe our channel Coderslobby and press the notification bell to get the latest update about our upcoming videos. Next time I'll meet you with new video. Till then, goodbye.